Good morning, it's Tuesday, Parshas Matos Masai Chov Bais Tamas Tuvshin Pai Vuv, July 7th, 2026. My name is Gershy Schwarcz and I'm your host on Edge.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours, powered by Yiddish 24, provided to you by The Click.
So today's news is sponsored to you by my HomeFinish, kosher skinny shots, and Halo 2 high-functioning water. A hidden bunker was found at Reb Nachman's Tzion in Oman. US President Donald J. Trump has arrived in Turkey for the NATO summit in Ankara. A few bombs just went off right outside the Syrian hotel where the President Emmanuel Macron from France stayed overnight. Iran broke the ceasefire again in the Strait of Hormuz after firing missiles and drones at ships, using the new US route to bypass the Strait of Hormuz. In Eretz Yisrael, Israeli soldiers had to rush in and rescue 10 Yidden who were trapped inside the Arab city of Kalkilia. And in Australia, the government's big plan to ban kids from using social media is already falling apart. Well, the full reports are coming up next only here on Edge, but before we do so, are you still drinking water? Well, of course you are. I started drinking Halo 2 high-functioning water. They call this high-functioning. You know why? Because it's engineered to make you high-functioning too. It has electrolytes, and it is perfectly balanced. pH 9+. Yes, so your body absorbs hydration instantly, giving your brain way more energy than you think. It keeps you sharp, focused, and energized throughout a busy, exhausting day. Don't let the heat slow you down. Stay high-functioning with Halo 2 high-functioning water. Tastes delicious. Delicious water. Really, you can find it everywhere. All right, breaking news. The Israeli consulate in New York was evacuated this morning. Police and firefighters ordered everyone out because they are worried a nearby high-rise on the 2nd Avenue might collapse. This is the same building in Midtown East where part of the outside wall came crashing down on Monday morning, forcing streets to close. Israeli Consulate General Ophir Akunis says all consulate staff got out safely. He says they are now looking for alternative locations so they can continue their regular services as quickly as possible. Multiple bombs went off near Four Seasons Hotel in Damascus, just 15 minutes after French President Emmanuel Macron left the building. Macron had stayed overnight in the Syrian hotel for his first official visit to the country. 3 to 4 people were killed in the blasts. It is still unclear exactly how the attack or who carried it out. Some reports claim that explosive devices were left on a vehicle, while others say that the bombs were hidden in a trash can. A car was on fire right by the hotel. Because he left the area shortly before the attack, he didn't hear the bomb go off. He also safely reached the Syrian presidential palace moments after. There he met with Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara, who is known to you as, everyone knows him as Abu Muhammad al-Julani, who was the Al-Qaeda leader. The French government said in a statement that Macron is safe and he is continuing the visit. They even took a tour of a mosque. Macron posted an X. Nothing can undermine the desire of Syrians to live in a fully sovereign and secure Syria. This morning I met Syria in all its diversity and I saw dignity, courage and determination. Powerful words from no words whatsoever. Yesterday we reported on the massive funeral of Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, where people shouted, "Death to America! Death to America! America!" I don't know the words exactly. Today on the 5th day of his funeral, 6th day I think, on the 5th day of his funeral, they are shouting different chants, all at their own president, Pezeshkian, who is part of the team, obviously, who is negotiating the current peace deal with the US, which many of these hardliners disagreed with. So the Khameneikis, or, as you know, the pro-Khamenei people, are now screaming death to the traitors and death to the normalizers while they try to attack him. Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, who is a coward, who's petrified, is playing coward, and he said that the people, and by the people he means Trump and Bibi, responsible for the assassination will pay. In response, Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz proudly reclaimed responsibility for the killing of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Even with the ongoing ceasefire, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps fired at least 2 missiles and some drones at Qatari gas tankers and a British oil tanker as well in the Strait of Hormuz. The Qatari ship was targeted after using US transit route, the US new transit route, which was a bypass of the because of the safety of traveling through the strait, right? Instead of the one designated by the IRGC. Then the IRGC claimed that the vessel ignored ignored warnings. Both vessels took heavy damage, and all the crew members are safe now. Iran promised to stop the strikes right away in the Strait. An agreement was barely 3 weeks old, as we understand. The US President Donald J. Trump previously warned that the United States will either get a diplomatic deal or finish the job in Iran. In response, the Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi warned that final talks will not happen under any military threats. The Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council also called Trump delusional. I wonder if they're talking to themselves or to the US. Now, US advisors are trying to convince Trump to change his response strategy. They suggest hitting back and attacking 4 Iranian oil tankers rather than, obviously, hitting just radar systems. Iranian hackers broke into Israeli government networks by targeting the local IT companies that manage their computer systems. The attackers disguised a virus that looks like a routine software update. Because of this, the IT companies unknowingly sent the malicious program straight into the government agencies. From there, the hackers gained access to connected government computers. The Israeli cybersecurity firm Check Point released a report on Monday exposing the attack. They say that the Iran-linked hackers call themselves Cavern Manticore. Checkpoint said, quote, the adversary's ability to gain access to the organizers in the defense and government sectors during the US military campaign, Operation Epic Fury, demonstrates both a high operational tempo and a disciplined approach to target selection. So far, the Israeli government has not released an official statement about this. In Lebanon, the President Joseph Aoun is receiving heavy criticism for sending his defense minister to the Iran Khamenei's funeral. He did this even after strongly criticizing Iran last week. He told them not to use Lebanon as their bargaining chip, saying, quote, it's not your country, it's our country. He also strongly denied reports that he is considering a meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Iran's official representative to the Houthis is in the capital visiting right now, obviously for the funeral. The terror group is now asking to set up a direct flight route to Tehran from Yemen. They said that this would keep their network going after facing major military losses. US President Donald J. Trump is in Turkey. He arrived to Turkey for the NATO summit in Ankara. And he just wrapped up his meeting with Turkish president. There they greeted him with soldiers and parades and music and horses. Trump obviously praised the Turkish leader and announced, saying, beautiful horses, beautiful people, beautiful men, beautiful, amazing people. And he announced that the US will lift sanctions on Turkey. Did you know that Turkey had sanctions from the US? No, now you know. He also confirmed he is seriously considering letting Turkey buy advanced American F-35 stealth fighter jets again. This potential $700 million deal is already causing serious tension with Israel. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu publicly asked President Trump to stop the sale. Netanyahu warned that it would be a massive mistake to give these advanced jets to a government that supports terrorists. This disagreement comes after Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan recently called Zionism a threat to Turkey's survival. In response, Israel's diaspora minister, Amichai Chikli, compared Erdogan to Adolf Hitler and the late Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, both Yamach Shemam v'Zichram. A US official said that President Trump heard Netanyahu's request and might ask Erdogan to tone down his language, but added, it is what it is. The fight over the fighter jets follows recent tensions between Trump and Netanyahu over how the U.S. negotiated to end the Iran war. Multiple American officials, including U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, accused Netanyahu of making promises about the Iran war that never actually happened. While at the summit, President Trump will also meet the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Now, going back to what I said about J.D. Vance being angry with Netanyahu, obviously Netanyahu promised that they will basically, these attacks will cause the regime to fall, and it didn't. Zelensky is urgently asking for more air defense systems after Russian ballistic missiles struck Kiev overnight. But as reported yesterday, Trump already spoke to Putin about mediating a peace deal. A group of Israeli military reservists are demanding a criminal investigation into the right-wing Channel 14 news network. The reservists claim that the station has repeatedly reported classified military secrets. They sent a formal letter to the state attorney, the police, and the military censor. Now, in the letter, they claimed that Channel 14 would broadcast secret details about key military operations days before the army actually carried them out. My HomeFinish You need some shades. Beautiful American-made blinds and shades and curtains for a lot less than the other places with the best quality. You know why? Because they're the top leading brand as My HomeFinish. They can afford to actually be cheaper than 90% of their competitors. Run by Heimish Delight, and they obviously are proud of it by employing 100% Heimish Eden. Yes, and because, like I said, people come back for the price, come back for the quality, come back for the service, but never come back for the quality. You can call them today to order your shades and blinds and curtains at 845-372-6613. Again, the number is 845-372-6613, or visit myhomefinish.com. Mention On Edge and get 5 to 10% discount. Last week, we reported that Jerusalem and Beirut signed a basic agreement for the Lebanese armed forces to clear out Hezbollah. But now, Israeli military commanders say that they do not trust the Lebanese army to actually do it. Officers pointed out that a high percentage of soldiers in the Lebanese military are Shiite Muslims. This means that they might support Hezbollah and refuse to destroy the terror group's bases. Now, Israel's defense ministry is building 40 new armed settlements along the country's eastern border. The new barrier will stretch along the Jordanian border for hundreds of miles, running from the Sea of Galilee to the in the north to all the way down to Eilat in the south. The military set up a special new team just to manage this massive project. The group is headed by Mordechai Benita, who presented the plan to place armed civilians in all 40 locations. Security officials warned that the eastern border is a major risk, and that Iran and its proxy terror groups are planning a future ground attack from the east. Ministry Director General Amir Bahram told officials that a military defense system alone will not stop an attack. Bahram said that the government must build roads, agriculture and hospitals to bring tens of thousands of new residents directly to the border. A major water agreement between Israel and Jordan expired in November, and Jerusalem is refusing to renew it, as relations between the two countries are a little shaky. Under the 1994 Peace Pact, Israel supplies Jordan with 50 million cubic meters of water a year, and 2021 deal doubled that amount. This decision stops the extra water supply in Jordan. On the other hand, Judea and Samaria, which is the West Bank, will soon be connected to the Israeli natural gas network. The head of the Central Command signed an order on Monday setting up the legal rules to make the connection possible. Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich and Energy Minister Eli Cohen led the project, finishing a process that took years to complete. 10 Yidden had to be rescued by border police and IDF soldiers after they were trapped inside a Palestinian city. The group went into Kalkilia to search for a motorcycle that was stolen from Elad, and they crossed into Area A, which is a designated zone where Israeli citizens are not allowed to be entering. Once inside, they were quickly surrounded by angry Kalkilia residents. Fortunately, the IDF arrived in time and separated the Yidden from the crowd. Kosher Skinny Shot, 845-456-8924. Want to change your lifestyle, your health style, your brain chemistry, to connection to your body, to how much food you can intake at once. That helps you lose weight. You don't have to go on crazy diets. You can continue eating the food you eat. With Kosher Skinny Shot, you obviously maintain that healthy, balanced lifestyle. Ask your doctor before you do any of this, but call Kosher Skinny Shot today on 845-456-8924. You could still enter to win a free month by calling me on 845-671-1775. Press 5, mention your name, telephone number clearly after the beep, and Kosher Skinny Shot on Edge to enter the raffle. Gedolei Yisrael are protesting a new public beach in Tveria. The beach just sits right on the main road between the ancient Beis Chaim, and the Kaiva of Rabbi Balanes. The city opened the beach without separation barriers or changing rooms. The parking lot is directly across the street, which means beach visitors are constantly crossing the busy road, which creates a serious sneeze problem from Spalalim traveling to the holy site. Thousands of Yidden gathered in Netanya to the hesped of the murdered Mekibel, the Tzaddik Reb Amos Geweta, Hashem Yinkom Dumoy. Rav Yunker, the Yenukarov, Rav Shlomo Yehida Be'eri, addressed the crowd with words of chizik. During his speech, he shared a personal story about his first time meeting Harav Geweta, Hashem Yinkom Dumoy, almost 20 years ago. He described the Mekibel by saying, "I saw a Malach Hashem." The Austrian government has approved a building construction on the grounds of a former concentration camp. This caused opposition from Jewish organizations. The site is the former Hittenberg camp, part of the Mauthausen system, where over 400 Jewish women were brought from Auschwitz in September 1944. They were forced to manufacture ammunition for the German military. Now, my auntie actually worked in that camp. Now they want to use the land to construct a supermarket and logistical center. Austria's Federal Monument Office justified the new construction. They explained that there's no physical remains of the camp left to preserve, but Jewish groups argue that building over the site will completely erase its dark history. Workers made a new discovery while doing renovations at the Tzion of Reb Nachman from Breslov, Zeicher Tzadik Shvruch in Uman, Ukraine. The crews were breaking up the cement ground to rebuild the structure and the outside courtyard. This was to prepare the area for the large Rosh Hashanah gathering for this year, Tufshin Paizayin. Just 2 feet under the cement, the workers found an iron cover. Under the cover was a hole, a little cellar that measures 6.5 square feet deep. This underground space has been completely sealed since the building was built 30 years ago. Nobody knows what it was originally used for. The renovation work was stopped right away, and Harav Nusen Benin, the chairman of the Ichud Breslov in Uman, ordered the workers to fill the hole with cement immediately to prevent any possible desecration of graves of Kvurim, possibly being in there. Back to New York. A new location of bingo is coming to Kiryas Yoel in Palm Tree. The Woodbury Planning Board just approved the resolution to begin transforming the old Stables building at the Woodbury Center on Route 32, which has been empty since 2023. Now, they have locations in Lakewood, Muncie, Cedarhurst, and Borough Park, and they're also planning more locations in Williamsburg and Florida. Bingo. In Lakewood, serious flooding hit the Jersey Shore Hospital, causing multiple emergency agencies to hurry to the facility. The heavy rain and flash floods are causing damage across New Jersey and Long Island. Areas like Paramus are still cleaning up from the holiday weekend. Yesterday morning, the severe weather caused the roof of BJ's Wholesale Club to cave in on Route 35 in Oakhurst. Video captured the ceiling crashing down inside the store, but thankfully no injuries were reported. Up in the Catskills, Chaver and volunteer teamed up with a state trooper to clear a downed tree blocking traffic on Old Route 17. President Donald J. Trump says his administration is successfully driving down the cost of everyday items. He pointed out to new price cuts at Walmart and Sam's Club as proof. Both retailers dropped prices on thousands of products, including Coca-Cola. Trump claims the discounts happened directly because his administration asked them to celebrate America's 250th birthday and do so. Trump announced this morning that a new White House helipad will be paid for by Sikorsky. Sikorsky is the company that manufactures the new VH-92A Patriot helicopter. This new model is replacing the older... Sorry, interruption there. So Sikorsky is the company that manufactures the new VH-92A Patriot helicopter. So this new model is replacing the older VH-3D aircraft to serve as Marine One and the official helicopter of the president. Now, Trump will enjoy a larger militarized heavy lift helicopter that is equipped with upgraded flight computers and classified military communication suites. In Manhattan, there is an outbreak of lung infection called Legionnaire's disease. Legionnaire's disease is now affecting at least 18 confirmed cases. This serious lung infection spreads when people breathe in mists from contaminated building water systems or cooling towers which provide air circulation. The health department is urging anyone who recently visited Central Park to watch closely for symptoms which are high fever, cough, shortness of breath, severe muscle aches, and headaches. Some people may also experience issues like diarrhea and as well neurological issues like confusion. Anyway, a New York man is suing the Department of Homeland Security after federal agents showed up at his front door over an angry email. 5 months after the man emailed the director of ICE to heavily criticize the immigration agency, federal officers arrived at his home to warn him about his comments. Lawyers filed a lawsuit arguing that sending government agents to confront someone over an email is a direct threat to free speech. Republican Senator Mitch McConnell is currently in life support. The 84-year-old senator has not been seen in public since at least June 14th, when he was hospitalized under mysterious circumstances. Reports say he suffered what appeared to be a cardiac arrest. Because he was missing for so long, people have been questioning his actual medical condition. The news outlet The Hill made a very big mistake. Because he has been in the hospital for weeks, a news outlet was getting the news outlet The Hill was getting a legacy article ready just in case he dies. But someone hit the wrong button and accidentally published the obituary-style piece early. The headline literally said, "Do not use," and I guess this guy was fired right away. A look back at Mitch McConnell's time in the Senate. Overnight, Russian missiles hit Kiev, killing at least 11 people. Ukrainian officials say Moscow fired 23 ballistic missiles and Ukraine has completely run out of Patriot interceptors to shoot them down. This, to make NATO's eastern front stronger, the US military is sending several thousand soldiers back to Poland. In response to the Russian strikes, Ukraine's military is pushing deeper into Russian territory. Ukrainian drones struck an oil refinery in the Russian city of Omsk. It traveled a record-breaking 2,500 kilometers from the nearest Ukrainian-controlled area. Power is also out across Western Russia's Belgorod region after Ukrainian HIMARS rockets hit a thermal power station and a local international airport. At the same time, a new defense report warns that Russia is testing European defenses. The report states Russia has launched 144 drones over NATO military bases and nuclear sites. It did this by using ships from its shadow fleet. The death toll from the twin earthquakes in Venezuela has now reached to 3,535 people. From 30,000 to as many as 50,000 people are still unaccounted for. And the two earthquakes hit the country on Wednesday 2 weeks ago within seconds of each other on June 24th. International aid teams are still working at the sites very hard to help with rescues, pulling both survivors and bodies from the rubble. Over 16,700 people are injured and more than 18,800 have been left without housing. Right now, thousands of people who lost their homes are sleeping in crowded temporary shelters, and experts warn this could cause a major health crisis. A Chinese nuclear submarine fired a long-range intercontinental ballistic missile into the southern Pacific Ocean. Before the launch, China issued separate official safety warnings given to the pilots about the dangers in the air. Taiwanese security officials Joseph Wu stated that the missile passed just north of the Philippines before landing in the Pacific nuclear weapon free zone. The Chinese government told observers not to read too much into the test. The US State Department published a statement saying that the United States monitored Chinese activity. Because of the regional concerns over China, Australia has vowed to build stronger ties with the Solomon Islands. Canada is making the largest military purchase in the country's history. The government is buying 12 new submarines in a deal that will cost up to $100 billion. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney announced today that a German-owned shipbuilder named TKMS won the contract. TKMS will build the ships for the Canadian Patrol submarine project in a partnership with Norway. Carney made the announcement right before leaving for NATO summit. He said that Canada needs the submarines because the world is increasingly dangerous and divided. In Australia, the government's big plan to keep kids off social media is completely falling apart in the very first step. Back in December, Australia passed a first-of-its-kind law banning anyone under 16 from having accounts on apps. England did the same exact thing. This includes X, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube. But a new study by software testers shows that the tech giants are basically ignoring the rules. Researchers opened 50 dummy accounts across the 9 different social media platforms claiming to be 16 years old. Even though the law requires these companies to take real steps to verify age, not a single platform asked the testers for any proof of any age before letting them on. The researchers say that only one platform, an Australian live streaming app called Kick, where people can randomly call anyone and interview them. People do debates there, actually stopped users and forced them to prove their age before letting them sign up. Ironically, Kick was made and funded by a crypto casino company called Stake. Shawarma Delight, speaking of steak, the best lamb shawarma in the market, my friends. Yes, they offer free ices for kids if you go there, and a free can of soda if you mention on Edge. On your way to the country, stop by for Mincha Ma'ariv by the tent. Thursday, open till late, by the way. They open every night till about 10, 11, and Thursday till very, very late. You can get the best shawarma in town in Monsey by stopping by. YS Capital Group? The answer is yes, 718-831-2168. Get your loans and your, no closing cost loans. Ask them about it. 718-831-2168. Arrive Express. Take your taxi. You want to go places? You want to get to Shawarma Delight? You want to go to YS Capital Group in Borough Park? Or you want to go all over the way to the country? Call 845-622-1111 or 845-254-1111 from Palm Tree to get yourself a taxi. Protobyte will design your software. 347-354-1237. They design software to the best of their ability and they're great at it. proto-byte.com. Check out their portfolio. Have yourselves a wonderful day, my friends.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours, powered by Yiddish 24, provided to you by The Click.